Yeah. We good. Yep. Okay, we live. Okay, that's cool. We're gonna get this started. Let me pull out my top 10. Alright. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Alex Thomas here, back with another episode of Nerd Talk, another live stream. Me and my boy John about to be talking about superhero news. We're about to be talking about certain topics. We're going to be, giving our thoughts on trailer reviews. We might do movie reviews on here as well. I was thinking about doing that, but I probably want to talk to you off camera about that. So let's go ahead and get started with the first topic that we want to talk about. We just watched the trailer, and oh my freaking goodness, it was. I ain't got to say no more, man. February is the perfect time to release this movie. We talked about Black Panther, man, and Chadwick Boseman looked freaking awesome as usual. He gave us a good impression in Civil War, but he's gonna nail this role in this movie. I think he's the perfect casting for this role. I'm not a big Black Panther fan, but watching his performance made me want to look more into the character. And probably when I read that, I probably won't see no one else playing that because he did such a good portrayal of that character. I love his character in Civil War. But he's going to have a different chip on his shoulder in this one besides Civil War because he was fighting off revenge. Yeah. In this one, he's going to have the mindset he has to be a king, but he's also a superhero, kind of. So,
he's a protector. Yeah.
Let's go and give our thoughts on the trailer. John, what you thought of the trailer, my man?
I thought that trailer was phenomenal. I'm very excited for this movie. I watched that trailer like 10 times during the day it came out. My favorite thing about the trailer was how unapologetically black it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they picked another song.
They had Gil Scott-Heron playing in the background. They gave each other dap.
It made it kind of stereotypical, but us as black people gonna look, oh yeah, that's the things we do. Yeah. But I kind of think it's too much on those, but they kind of swiped off to the side more towards the end of the trailer. Okay, we know, it's gonna be all black cast and stuff like that, but I did like that as well, but I would kind of like not a rap song, kind of more of a.
Well, that wasn't necessarily. That was spoken word.
To this was gonna be like, okay, like, you know what I mean though, like more of a epic type thing. Even though it was cool though, it fit the tone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It fit.
But just like something, I don't know. It just. I was watching somebody else react to it. That's the first thing he said. Like, I'm black, but why it's got to be a rap song in the trailer? Like, why it's got to be a rap song? That's too obvious. So, but that didn't bother me as well. But I do understand why people are saying that. Mm-hmm. But I enjoyed it. I freaking love the trailer. Everything that Black Panther does in the trailer is awesome. The money shot him jumping off the car and jumping to the other car. They polished it up a little bit, obviously, in the trailer. For this one than the last one.
Yeah, you could tell the CG wasn't done in the teaser. This one, the CG.
The Comic-Con one, they showed it.
Yeah, the CG looks a lot better.
I think both scenes with him jumping off the building, I think that's all one sequence.
Yeah.
We'll just see what happens while he's chasing them. But that's obviously before he gets his suit. They show the scene where he's looking at both suits. He has the old suit and he has a new suit.
Yeah.
So I do like that he has different suits. So we'll see it in Avengers what suit he had. Most likely.
That's the thing with the MCU. Everybody has a different suit.
Right.
In the next movie, even Thor changes his suit.
Yep.
3 times.
So that's why I'm ready to see what we already know how we've seen him. But Black Panther didn't have his mask. I think he just had his suit on, not his helmet.
Well, he had his helmet on.
You didn't watch the Avengers trailer. The one they showed at Comic-Con. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about for Avengers.
Well, I did, but it was so blurry.
Yeah. They had another version come out that was more clear than the one you saw.
Yeah. Okay.
I shared that one just so like everybody about to see this mother. I don't care.
I saw the very first version.
But I do like that feel. I think he probably modified a little bit more stuff from that suit because of what he dealt with in Civil War. Mm-hmm. That's why his suit is like that. It's more like the suit is inside you because we have Michael B. Jordan's character, who's obviously going to be like a Black Panther, but he's something else though. He's not a Panther though. He's something else, huh?
Yeah,
I don't know that much of Black Panther.
A Panther is just a jaguar,
right?
Which is a black jaguar.
Right. Okay. So I like that. We obviously gonna see a fight between those two. Obviously, we see it in the trailer. But what are they fighting in? That's the one thing I'm more likely happy about. That it feels so different. You know, it feels so original. It feels so different. The cast looked phenomenal. Like, you would not expect the cast they had, the caliber they have. Even with someone as a director as Ryan Coogler, like, he's not known for doing a lot of stuff. This is like his fourth project, the third project.
Didn't he do Creed?
He did Creed.
Yeah.
He did Fruitvale Station. Fruitvale Station.
Oh yeah, Fruitvale Station. I haven't seen Fruitvale Station.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I recently just bought it on Blu-ray. It's pretty good. But like, think about it, he went for those to do to Black Panther. Like, that's pretty good. And I think Kevin Feige's finally letting these directors do what they want. We've seen that with Guardians, obviously. I think Guardians the most he's letting James Gunn handle that. He's not really.
I respect James Gunn because James Gunn kind of put his foot down. He was like, I'm gonna do what I want.
Yeah, he's making stories that's not tying into everything. Cause that's the problem with Avengers. Why Joss Whedon had a problem with Marvel, because he wanted to do his own thing. He didn't want to have to tie up, do links to other movies. That's what he didn't want to do. So that's how I like about it. This. Doesn't feel like it has to lead into another movie. Same with Spider-Man. Spider-Man didn't feel like it needed to lead into another, to Avengers movie. So we just get the they will return, so we know they're gonna be in the next movie. I like that though, because I hope Thor feels like that, but I think Thor is not. Thor's gonna be like this is a very important film. Yeah. Thor's gonna be a very important film. But this is the third movie though out of the franchise though. Yeah. So and oh my God, oh my.
So now what?
Let me see. Check to see if we still live, cause it might have just stopped. It'd be salty if it stopped, if it's gonna stop and do it over again. Oh no, we good. Hold on, let me check.
Oh shoot, that's what
damn, come on, man. Okay, I think we're still good. We're good. We're still live. We're still live.
Still live.
Okay, we still live. Okay.
We still live, baby.
Okay, shit. I'm about to say, come on, don't do that to me. We having a good conversation. I'm not trying to do this over again, because that was just a good conversation right there, man. All right, we still live. We still good. All right,
good. Yep, we
good.
Still
good. Okay, that was a little communication. My girlfriend called me. I am using my iPhone for this. I know it's kind of, man. My iPhone is $900. That's a camera, basically, right there. So what were we talking about? We were talking about Thor.
Yeah, Thor Ragnarok.
Like I said, they're getting good reviews. It's getting good reviews, but I'm not gonna watch any because I'm gonna just wait for it to come out. But I agree with you. I think any superhero movie, I'm not gonna watch no reviews till I see it, because everyone's gonna have their own different opinions. Just like what you said, BVS. I enjoyed BVS, but a lot of people didn't, and I understand why. But that's just their experience. They probably had a different experience than I did. So yeah. Anything else you wanted? You didn't really know about that, so.
I didn't know about it until 5 minutes before we did the video. I mean, I had no doubt that Thor Ragnarok was gonna be a good movie.
Yeah.
All the trailers look good. That last trailer though kind of disappointed me, just because it pretty much showed every major plot.
I didn't watch the last one.
Yeah. So
which one? Hold on. They have the third trailer now, right? Or are you talking about
I think they got a third. Maybe it was the second trailer.
You're not talking about the one at the first when he's telling the story at first. Well,
no, not that one.
The one where
you see a lot of the Hulk
at the end, where the Hulk is taking out that one giant fire dude.
Yes.
Yeah, I seen. I like that trailer where she's sitting at the end. He's talking to Hulk and he says Hulk is like raging fire. That one.
Yeah.
I like that trailer.
I like it, but it showed every.
Yeah, it kind of showed the ending.
Yeah, it showed.
He's gonna be lightning and.
Yeah, it showed every major plot point of the movie. Like, it's just.
I kind of enjoyed that trailer. I kind of like that trailer.
It diminished some of my excitement.
I understand what you mean, but you'll go in and you'll be like, oh yeah, it was still good.
Yeah, it's still gonna be good. I ain't got no doubt about that.
But, I'm excited for it. We got what, 3 more weeks? 3 more weeks.
2 more weeks.
Come out November 11th.
I think. It's the second week in November, whatever Friday or Thursday that is.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's in the beginning of November.
November 10th.
November 10th.
And then the very next week,
So it's got to be November 10th then.
Yeah.
Because what's before that, 3rd?
Yeah.
I don't think it's the 3rd.
It's not the 3rd.
I don't think it's the 3rd. I think it's the 10th.
Yeah, the next. Yeah.
So we got what, 3 more weeks for it. 3 more weeks for it.
Yeah, and then the very next week is
Justice League. That's how you know your Justice League's next after that. Okay. That's crazy, bro. That's gonna be a crazy month.
That's gonna be.
Oh my lord. Then next month we got Star Wars.
Yes, sir.
All right, next. You ready? You ready to talk about this?
I'm ready.
You ready for this?
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
This is about to be. This might make it long. This is gonna make it long because we're gonna get in. Well, not saying we're gonna get in debates, but we're gonna have a lot of discussion on this because we did this before, but we didn't ever upload the video because there was a lot too much going on.
But everything happens for a reason because we redid everything.
Yeah.
So.
At first we wasn't doing Nerd Talk. We just did the video.
Yeah.
At first I think we just did the video. We wasn't doing Nerd Talk at the time. So I think this is a good time to do it.
That was the prototype for Nerd Talk.
Yeah. That was the start. That was the idea. That was the idea. That was where the idea was planted. Some inception knowledge on you. We're gonna go ahead and give our top 10. You guys know I put it in the caption. Our top 10 superhero movies. I guess you could say of all time, but I just put top 10 superhero movies. Go ahead and start off. We're not gonna do honorable mentions until we get to the last two.
Last one.
Yeah, so the last one we'll go. Then we'll get into honorable mentions. We're gonna do 10 through 1, obviously. You want to start off? Or you want me to start off?
You can go ahead and start off.
All right. My number 10 is going to be the very first Iron Man movie. Because if it wasn't for the first Iron Man, we probably wouldn't have the cinematic universe we have right now. But the one thing what gives the first Marvel movie, first Iron Man movie credit is that it felt so grounded. It didn't feel like these ugly world characters were in it. It felt like it could be its own story. Even if it was the only one, it worked so well as a singular piece. Robert Downey Jr. basically gave us the most important, portrayal of a superhero character. He basically he killed it, man. I absolutely loved it. I didn't watch it recently, but I was trying to look up that Iron Man 2 thing we talked about. I didn't watch that though. I am gonna probably watch him. See, Thor is so close. I literally have to watch a Marvel movie every day for the rest of this week. I think I can do it.
You wouldn't have to do it not every day for the rest of the week. We got 2 weeks.
That's what I'm saying. For the rest of 2 weeks. That's like if I watch a movie each week, how many movies is there?
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's what I'm saying.
It's 14.
Right. So I have to watch each one a day before it comes out because it's already it's the 22nd. Yeah. It's gonna be the 31st before we know it.
Well, knowing me, I'll probably watch
2 a day.
I'll probably
like
watch
2 a day. Probably do like
1,
but I'll probably skip Thor though since we talked. I'll probably skip Thor and
I'll probably watch Iron Man 1 and 2 in the same day.
Yeah. But I might skip Spider-Man since I already saw it. Like I've been recently just watching it. So that'll be fresh in my brain. I'll probably skip that and I'll probably skip
He lying. He not gonna skip that.
You definitely right. I did just buy it on Blu-ray. I did just buy it on Blu-ray. But number 10 is Iron Man for me.
All right. I like your number 10. My number 10 is it's not your traditional superhero movie in the sense that we think of, but it is by all means a superhero movie, and it is The Incredibles.
You know, it's so funny. That was my number 10, but I just thought Iron Man was like kind of more. Not saying it was more important, but it just felt like it was the right time. That was my number 10.
I'm gonna mention Iron Man later.
Okay. That was my number 10 at first. I had to change it.
I really struggled with this list because there are so many movies that I wanted to put on here, but I had to think: are these other movies like is this one movie just as good as these other movies? Right. And I was like,
or is it better?
Yeah. So I was like, let me rearrange some stuff. But The Incredibles is the Fantastic Four movie that we should have got.
We deserve.
Yes. The Incredibles was a fantastic movie.
Perfect casting.
Perfect voice work. It got you engaged from the very beginning of the movie, from start to finish. and a few of the scenes got really heavy.
Yeah,
like the plane crash scene.
It feels a lot darker than your typical Pixar movie.
Yeah,
but it works so well. It just works so well, man.
And and people die in this movie, and they don't really, and you don't realize it.
Most of the superheroes die.
Yeah, the whole Cape montage.
Yeah.
All the people died.
That's dark. That's dark. But it was rated PG, so they made it as dark as they could for Pixar. Yeah. But you are right though, cause
that one chick that got sucked into the jet.
Oh my god.
She's not alive.
Syndrome did that. Syndrome got sucked into a pillar.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the movie. So, I liked your number 10 as well. That's a perfect number 10 because that was my number 10, but I replaced it with Iron Man. That would technically be number 11.
Yeah, but it was just so it was fun, and you know we recently watched it like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I got the same feeling that I got when I watched it when we were kids.
Right.
But everything was so well done, and the plot was basically Civil War before it was Civil War because it required superheroes to
giving up their
secret identities. They had to register as ordinary citizens, and that movie was made before the Civil War comic was even written.
So you think Civil War got the idea from them a little bit? Just
probably.
A little bit. But the concept alone, what made it intriguing is that superheroes can exist because the government wants them to evade their identity. It's such an interesting storyline because Marvel they have so many superheroes, so it's like. And that's just a crazy concept. That's why I wish it would have been more. See, it's so hard for Captain America: Civil War to do that because most of the superheroes already have their identities revealed already.
Right, but
we'll talk about it later.
But that's the thing about it's like if superheroes existed in the real world, that's the only way they could exist.
Exactly.
Is if they register with the government. But moving on to number 9.
Let me go ahead and get my number 9. My number 9 is Deadpool. I had to give Deadpool. It's got to be in the top 10, man. It's just the first. It's not the first. It's not the first rated R Deadpool. Now, first rated R Marvel movie, but it did it so perfectly.
It's the first blockbuster.
Right. It just did everything so right. Shout out to Ryan Reynolds who loves this character to the death of him because without him this movie would not work.
We need more actors like that.
I think Robert is that next one afterwards, but as more to the source material of Deadpool, you can tell he really loves this character. He really cares about this character. He's been wanting to play it for so long. He even put up some of his money to do this, so you know it's really important to him. But just the portrayal, the fourth wall breaking, the jokes, everything worked. The music, just how it felt like it was an X-Men universe, but it felt like it wasn't. Like, you know how Deadpool just pops up and stuff. It just felt so like that. It felt so much like a comic. Just the open credits just nailed it, man. I was in the theater laughing. I had to go see it twice. I'm like, is it really that funny? And yes, it was that funny the second time. I loved it, man. I loved it, man.
My number 9 is Batman Begins.
Ooh. Nice.
This movie is very near and dear to my heart because it revitalized my love for Batman. I mean, I've always been a Batman fan ever since I was 4 years old. But at a time when I really, really wanted a Batman movie, and it had been a while since we had one. The last one was
before Batman Begins with Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin, which was 8 years before Batman Begins. And this came out when I was in the 10th grade, and I really wanted a Batman.
You was in 10th grade though?
I was in the 10th grade.
When Batman Begins came out?
Yeah, 2005.
2005, yeah. Yeah, I was
It'd be like 8th grade.
8th grade. 8th grade, probably going into high school. No.
Yeah, I was
like in 7th. I was like in 7th grade.
Yeah, I was like 10th going into 11th grade. But yeah, this movie was definitely very dear to me because it gave us the most realistic representation of Batman that we've seen thus far. This very well could happen if somebody had the willpower to do it.
Yeah. There's some people out there that can do it. They just don't want to do it.
Oh yeah, I mean they obviously gonna go to jail. But I think Christian Bale's performance was top notch. A lot of people praised his performance in this movie rather than the other movies, just because of it showed why he was the way he was. And we had never seen that before. Not explored this much in depth.
It felt more like it was more of a Bruce Wayne story than a Batman story.
Yeah.
Most of those movies in the old ones, it was more Batman centric. This was more like we're gonna tell from a man's point, not more of a superhero point. And
right.
That's
exactly.
the one thing
Exactly. He was a man. It was a man's journey into becoming something more than a man. And that hadn't really been done in superhero movies before, because they filmmakers always focus on the hero aspect, and they don't really focus on the humanity of the hero and why is this person doing what he's doing. You know, I mean, we all know the Batman origin story, and they made some slight changes, but it really went in depth, other than just the death of his parents. It went into his training, and it did so well. It didn't feel corny. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel convoluted. This was one of the first movies. This was actually the first Christopher Nolan movie I saw.
This was the first one?
It was the first one. After that, I think I saw Memento after this.
It was the other way around for me. I saw Memento first, and it was Batman.
But it introduced me to nonlinear storytelling, and that I hadn't realized it at the time, but that's my favorite type of storytelling.
Where it tells things out of sequence.
Yeah, it told things out of sequence, and you're trying to piece things together to see, well, how did he end up here, and how did he end up here? And a lot of people don't like that because it confuses them. But that just tell you just need to more pay attention. You know? Yeah, personally, I like that.
Certain scenes will transition to other scenes, and you'll be like, oh, why is that doing that? But it's showing that's why. It's showing it's gonna tell you the story, the reason why it's that way.
I like that because it challenges you to think and put things together for yourself. As far as this type of nonlinear storytelling for Batman Begins, it was a little more straightforward because it was a narrative, rather than like Memento being like you have no idea what's going on and it's basically going backwards. But this was the first chapter in one of the best representations of any superhero. Not just Batman, but I have a hard time naming a solid trilogy for any franchise. I challenge any of you to name 10 solid trilogies.
Yeah, this is it.
It's hard.
Yeah, because you put Toy Story trilogy. I'll say the Back to the Future trilogy.
Yeah, I say that as well.
That's just personally because people don't like the third one. People don't even like the second one. I like that. But I would say the Back to the Future trilogy.
People don't like the second one?
I heard that's some people's least ones. That's their least favorite. But
who are these people?
I don't know.
We need to go find these people.
But in my opinion, I put that trilogy. It's really hard to name 10 because the Lord of the Rings. But no, that's it. That's about it. I can think of.
Personally, I like the Matrix, but the Matrix is so polarizing.
That's another conversation. That's another. Let's just stop talking about this. 'Cause that's another topic. That's an important topic right there. We'll talk about that another time. Let's go ahead and get into the next one, man.
Number 8.
That's an important. Oh, that dang! That's too important, man. What we're on, number 8?
Yeah, number 8.
All right, we're on number 8. My number 8 is X-Men: Days of Future Past. I love this movie, man. Even from watching from the trailers. I just knew this movie was gonna be great when they were combining the cast together from X-Men First Class. People thought X-Men First Class was a reboot. It was intended to be, but I think since the Days of Future Past comic book was starting to grow a fan base, they go, okay, we could take that and apply it to us to change up the timeline. 'Cause they were always talking about changing the timeline anyway because the way X-Men 3 ended. So this is the way to change the timeline, and I think it works so well. Spoiler alert, the ending where Logan wakes up and see everyone alive is a very important scene. I freaking loved it, man. Like, even with the way, could you feel for these characters, even when they died in the last one, they didn't get a good payoff. But this one felt like, okay, these characters are back. This is the payoff they get. They get to come back, I love that scene. I just thought this movie was well directed. Bryan Singer came back and did an amazing job. But I think he's kind of getting saturated because I didn't like X-Men Apocalypse that much. Maybe someone else needed to come in and do it.
I liked the look of it. I think it was a very visually pleasing movie.
Yeah.
But as far as the story,
right,
it didn't do it for me.
Right. But yeah, that's my, I think, that's the second best performance in my opinion from Wolverine. Logan is 1, then Days of Future Past 2nd. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved that movie.
I have to agree with that. Yeah.
What's your number 8?
My number 8 is Spider-Man: Homecoming. This is the.
Oh, I'm gonna say that's my number 7 since we're talking about.
And your number 8 is my number 7.
Oh, okay.
Days of Future. Yeah, Days of Future.
Okay. So we got our switch.
Yeah, we got our switch.
Okay, but if you look at those two, those are definitely in the middle, basically. Cause
I really had a hard time placing
those two. Yeah. Like I said, I just recently watched Spider-Man. I was watching Tom Holland. I'm like, he's doing an amazing job, bro. Mm-hmm. It felt like that was perfectly cast. Because he's supposed to be a kid, right? But it's like, obviously, he got to be this man later. But it just works so well. It works so well. And it's crazy to see when I watch Captain America. Like, this is not supposed to be here. Like, he's not supposed to be in this universe because he wasn't for so long.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I was watching the movie. I was like, we're not supposed to be seeing this. Iron Man is not supposed to be in this movie.
It just didn't seem real, man.
But yeah, like I said, I had a hard time placing those two movies. I thought they were equally great. One was just as good as the other. The only reason I placed Spider-Man: Homecoming behind Days of Future Past was because of Spider-Man fatigue.
Yeah, that was just the reboots.
Yeah,
it's definitely X-Men. Yeah. X-Men. This is the long-going franchise.
Because I think I was one of the only people that wasn't like through the roof excited for Spider-Man: Homecoming, just because we had seen 3 Spider-Man in 10 years.
Yeah.
And I was just like, here we go again. But I mean, I love the movie. It was excellent. It's the most accurate representation of Spider-Man that we've seen thus far as character development and character design. That's another movie that's visually pleasing.
Yes.
It is a very vibrant and colorful film, which is a bit odd for MCU movies, because I don't know if anybody notices this, but maybe it's just me, but do the Marvel movies seem kind of gray?
They were starting like but you look at it more like the Captain America movies. The more Captain America movies are more grayer.
Between
Guardians is colorful.
Guardians.
Thor 2 was a little gray.
But even like the whole first phase of Marvel, with the exception of Iron Man 2, it just seemed very gray to me,
Yeah.
especially the first Iron Man and Avengers.
Yeah.
It seemed really hazy.
Yeah.
And
it's not this type of way they filmed it a little bit. I think for Avengers, Joss Whedon just want that kind of a pilot feel to it, like a TV show feel to it. So it definitely feels like, I remember when I was watching it, like, this doesn't feel like a movie. It feels like it's a pilot of a TV show. It felt like a TV show.
And you know what? It also felt like that because I used to work in a movie theater, and we have they usually film movies in two different aspect ratios. Right. One is scope and one is flat. Right. Scope is used for action movies, and flat is used for comedies or dramas. Right. And Avengers was actually filmed using the flat aspect ratio, so it felt and like kind of looked like a TV show rather than a movie. I mean, a very well done TV show, but it was a lot of people wouldn't catch that unless they were in the film industry. So if you were wondering why Avengers looks a little funny, that's why. Yeah, Spider-Man: Homecoming, definitely the most accurate Spider-Man that we've seen thus far. The Vulture, Michael Keaton, he is top 2 Marvel villains in the MCU. He's fantastic. They took a somewhat crappy villain who was kind of boring and nobody really cared about, and made him
some depth.
They gave him depth. He was engaging. He was terrifying.
You got to give that credit also to Michael Keaton. He plays the hell out of the role. And
he's versatile. He can play the hero and the villain.
It doesn't help that he did play Batman. So it's funny because the memes are so hilarious. Like they show like there's a meme where there's a picture where he said, "Don't mess with my daughter." He said, "Why?" And he's wearing the Batman costume. It's just hilarious. Like, oh my god, these are like. And then it's not funny because he played in another film, Birdman. He played in Birdman, so like, oh, that's kind of obvious. He's playing Vulture. But you're right. He's definitely top 2 villains. I absolutely loved him. I'm glad they didn't kill him. They didn't kill him off.
Yeah. My favorite scene in the movie is where he Tom Holland. He wasn't even Spider-Man. It was in the car.
Yeah, that's the scene I'm talking about. Yeah, where he's telling him like, you don't mess with my daughter.
I was terrified.
And it's funny, he appreciated him for saving her too. He said that like, I owe you my life for saving my daughter, but you mess with us, you know what's gonna happen. Yeah. And that's the scary part about it. He like, I admire you for doing it, but you mess with me, I'm gonna kill anybody you care about. Yeah. Like,
and I love the fact that he figured it out on his own. He didn't need nobody to tip him off. He didn't need like in the first Spider-Man, Norman Osborn saw the cut on his. Like he didn't need nothing obvious. He just figured it out on his own.
Once he said
he's an intelligent person.
Once he said Tony Stark, he knew like. You mess with Iron Man.
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and talk that's your number 8.
Yeah, that's my number 8.
Well, I told you that's my number 7. Yeah. That's my thoughts on that. Like we said, I love the movie. Like I said, I just recently watched it. I just feel like it's so I'm like watching. I'm so happy that Marvel does have him, but it's like it just like you said, kind of a little fatigue. But it just works so well. Tom Holland just knocked it out of the park. Yeah, like that first sequence when he's recording Civil I ain't gonna get to it, man. That movie's raw, man. All right, your number 7.
My number 7 is X-Men: Days of Future Past. Don't talk too much on it. I'll just say, it was it's the best X-Men movie.
Unless you're not counting Logan.
Well,
but Logan is a singular piece.
Yeah, Logan is. It stands alone, but it was for a long time. X2 was the best one.
Definitely.
But Days of Future Past.
I like that over First Class.
Yeah, Days of Future Past. See, I liked First Class a lot when it first came out.
I still take X2 over First Class.
Yeah, I will too. I was like, this is so good because and we hadn't really seen a superhero movie like that. At least not in a long time.
Right.
But watching it over, it felt a little bit corny.
It felt kind of long a little bit. There's long stretches where they're not really doing that much. They're just,
But then
talking.
But then I had to put it into the context. It's in the '60s.
Exactly.
It's set in the '60s, so it's gonna feel a little corny. But yeah, Days of Future Past. I love that movie. It fixed everything. Honestly, because Apocalypse was subpar. I feel like they could have ended the franchise with
Days of Future Past. When I first saw it, I thought they were gonna end it, but then when they announced Apocalypse, they're gonna do Apocalypse. But you're right. I wish they would have ended with that. Besides Logan, I think Logan we needed Logan. We needed Logan to happen. But I agree with you said. If I probably won't watch Apocalypse again. Like I can finish with.
I watched it not recently, but I watched it.
I think the one thing that killed me with that movie was Deadpool. Because we know Apocalypse is not a main threat because Deadpool is in the present day. They're in back in the day. Well, not saying that kind of blew it a little bit, but it's like
it's not that. It's just that the stakes just didn't feel high enough.
Exactly. He didn't feel like a big threat. That's the way he's supposed to be.
Yeah, because
not saying he's not like Thanos. He's like Thanos, isn't he? He's that big bad guy, right?
No, Thanos is Thanos because they're all Marvel.
But you know what I'm talking about? X-Men franchise between Marvel, like that's technically.
He's not like Thanos because Thanos can control space time.
Mm-hmm.
Apocalypse can't do that. I think that's the only thing he can't do.
Right.
Anything other than that, he can do that. But Thanos can control space time. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I just felt that the stakes weren't high enough in Apocalypse. Because I've seen things where they're prequels and the stakes are high and you feel it. Perfect example is Smallville. Yeah. Smallville it was 10 years of an origin story. Mm-hmm. And I thought Smallville was very well done overall. Of course, it had some slow spots.
Right.
But the way that they did it, even when the stakes were high, you felt it. Mm-hmm. Even though you knew everything was going to be okay because he's going to be Superman at the end of the series. X-Men Apocalypse just didn't accomplish that for me.
I agree with everything you're saying. We're on number 6 now?
Yeah, number 6.
All right, we're on number 6. My number 6 is Batman Begins.
Hey.
I had to put it lower on the list because it was gonna be up more. Like I was gonna put Iron Man and Batman Begins in the same category, but I just thought about how important, like what you said, Batman Begins is because it did bring back Batman fever. It made us because Joel Schumacher kind of made Batman a comical character with Batman and Robin, but I just think this brought him back to the grittier guy that he is,
and I see what Joel Schumacher was doing.
He was just trying to make an entertaining movie.
He wanted to take it back to Adam West, and I get that. That's not what we wanted.
Yeah, we got that. We got that already, but I think the year prior was Blade was before that, right? Blade came out around the same time as Batman and Robin, so. I think we were getting grittier. Well, that was before.
No, Blade came out the year after.
The year after.
Yeah,
okay. I thought that was 97. I thought they came out the same year. He made Batman kind of a, not saying literally he made him a joke, but this movie right here gave us the Batman we needed. It gave us a solid trilogy. It started the trilogy we have now, but I really think The Dark Knight is a superior movie, but I think this does deserve its level as well because this is such an important film. It's beautifully directed. The colors are amazing. I like the style of Gotham in this movie. It feels like it's an ugly world place other than The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight made it more city-like, made it more like it's a real place. This Gotham doesn't really feel like it feels like, it's a comic book brought to real life.
It feels gritty and grimy, yeah.
It feels like a dark place that you really don't want to be. Yeah. And I like that.
And I like the fact that when they were in Gotham, they chose specific spots.
Right.
One place in particular, the Narrows.
Right.
That's one of the most important places.
You never see those places. You never see it ever again in other movies. That's the only one you see.
Yeah, but that's one of the most important places in Gotham is the Narrows. Right. And we never saw it before.
Right.
Because Batman Begins was as far as location in the movie, it was more international.
Right.
Like he was over in Asia, and he spent some time.
This movie felt bigger, obviously.
Yeah,
felt bigger because he was going to all these different places.
Yeah, so when they were in Gotham, they couldn't show too much of Gotham because they spent so much time everywhere else. But I like the places that they chose in Gotham for that movie.
I want to talk about Michael Caine for a minute. As Alfred, the way Michael Caine, bro. Never. Like, I always think about it every time. Like, I won't say, I won't do that. Like, never. The way he sounds is just amazing, bro. His lines and dialogue.
That was the first time we'd seen an Alfred with a Cockney accent.
Yep.
Because all the other Alfreds have a upper class British accent. He had a lower class.
He felt real. He felt real. But I did like his portrayal as Alfred. Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox, amazing casting. But I want to rate more about it. I just think Batman Begins is a very important film for superhero genre, man. It's a very important film. Yeah. But that's my number 6.
My number 6 is Marvel's The Avengers.
What?
That's my number 6. Why you look at me like that, man?
Okay, all right, go ahead.
But you when I name my top 5,
I understand. I know it's missing. I know it's missing. I know it's missing though.
The Avengers is my number 6. As you can see, he thinks I should have it higher. Yeah. But I like there are 5 superhero movies better than that one. At the time when I saw the movie, I was like, this is the best movie ever made.
I wouldn't say the best movie, but definitely.
I'm talking like the first time I saw it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I saw it when I was working at the movie theater. It was just me and my boss. We was like, we firing this up tonight. We're not waiting until Friday. We watching this tonight, and it was a great experience because it was, like I said, it was just me and my boss. There were no distractions. There were no kids and popcorn crunching. It was just us in the movie, and it was a really good experience. I fanboyed so hard in that movie, like, because I could not wrap, even though I saw the trailers and the promo material, like, I could not wrap my mind around this many heavy hitting heroes being in one movie.
And then they all
had never been done before. Marvel created the cinematic universe.
Yeah.
At least the term, because now they confirmed that all the Quentin Tarantino movies are in the same universe. But they were the first ones to explicitly say all of these movies are connected. They exist in the same world. And it still, like, thinking about it still to this day, it's amazing that not only did they did it, but they have done it so well. And that just comes from having a strong foundation, knowing exactly what you want to do before you do it. That movie was just it was so good, and it had one of my favorite directors, Joss Whedon, because I was a Joss Whedon fan of Serenity and Firefly, then Serenity.
Let's say same.
Yeah.
Because that's a TV show.
Yeah, because I wasn't really too big on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because that just wasn't my type of show. But Firefly and Serenity were definitely one of my favorite shows of my teenage years. I love his style of writing. He's very humorous and witty.
Mm-hmm.
He's very tongue in cheek. His humor is his humor is straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
He gives you the humor, and he gives it to you as if it's not a joke,
Mm-hmm.
and I like that. Yeah, that he gave everybody, well, mostly everybody, a lot of screen time and character development. The only one that felt subpar was Hawkeye.
Okay.
But he made up for it in Age of Ultron
Mm-hmm.
because he pretty much stole the show.
Mm-hmm.
But that it was so well done. Like I really didn't think I would ever see that movie. I didn't because look. As long as superhero movies been around, we've seen more Batman and Super. I really thought we were gonna get a Justice League movie before we got an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
This movie came out of nowhere. I mean,
It's true.
it's true. Don't get me wrong. We got a lot of they announced it like 2.5 years before it came out.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, I thought that would never happen. I literally thought I would never see a Captain America movie.
I agree with you, bro. Cause I'm sitting there
Yeah.
like, this ain't gonna work.
Right, that's what I'm like.
The one thing I think is Cap not gonna work. No, before Cap, I thought Thor wasn't gonna work, but the first one did. Is
Yeah.
Cap ain't gonna work. But I'm like, oh, they had to change thing. They obviously did.
Mm-hmm.
His suit had to be changed. It had to be more, But I agree with everything you're saying. When they at the end of Iron Man, I didn't see Iron Man 3. I saw it on DVD.
Mm-hmm.
But I did watch all the credits, and then that last ending, where Nick Fury came out, I said, that
confirmed it.
That's not gonna happen. Nah, it's just a nod. And then when they announced Iron Man 2, they said they were gonna make some changes and put Nick Fury in. I said, oh yeah, this is gonna happen because he's a big player in that. And I knew, I'm like, okay. Then at the end of Captain America, when Iron Man, not Captain America, Incredible Hulk, when Iron Man comes and said, I'm forming a team, I said, nah, it's not gonna happen. No, I remember talking to my Uncle Man, like, bro, they talking about doing the Avengers. They said, no, they're not. I'm like, yes, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Because once they
would have all these people show up.
Yep.
At the end of the movie for them not to do it.
And then it was after Iron Man 2 when after they showed the hammer, I said, I told my uncle, like, they're doing Avengers. They're doing it. Because they wouldn't do Thor without that. Because Thor's the one that's not going to work. If they're doing Thor, it's going to work. And then when I saw Thor, I remember calling Uncle, like, bruh, it worked. It worked. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Thor, I won't lie. Thor is the one that I was worried about. I didn't think Thor was going to work. Just because it was so it was so otherworldly.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I saw it, I was like, they really pulled it off. They pulled off a character that otherwise I wouldn't even care about, and they really worked. They had perfect casting for it. But I think the casting in Avengers is really good. Obviously Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. was born to play that role. He's basically playing himself.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Evans can play any role.
Mm-hmm.
I'm convinced he can play any superhero. If he dyed his hair brown and played Superman, he could do it. But yeah, that movie, that movie was definitely one of what am I trying to say? I had the most disbelief watching that movie because I couldn't believe I was actually watching an Avengers movie. But yeah, moving on to number 5.
My number 5 is going to be Spider-Man 2.
Would you look at that? That's my number 5.
Yeah, that's gonna be not my number 5.
I don't know why I had it at number 4 on my list because I meant to put it at number 5.
Mm-hmm. You just did the same thing because I did the exact same thing. I said I switched that. That's wrong.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
because I meant to have it at number 5.
Yeah, that's wrong. But
4, so.
That's actually my number 5 is Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire. What else can I say? It's just it was made at the right time. It was epic. It was campy at the same time. Just Tobey Maguire just worked as Peter Parker. One of the greatest Marvel villains is Doc Ock in this movie. He doesn't get enough credit, but I think if they do make a top 10 of Marvel villains, he needs to be number 2. Because we didn't get I would say number 3. Because Magneto is a good villain too in X-Men.
I'd say number 2 because Magneto's my number 1.
Number 1 Magneto over Loki.
Yes, Magneto. Yes. Oh, absolutely.
I have to think about that. Those two can
absolutely
change. Those two can change. But Doc Ock definitely in the top 3. He's definitely in the top 3 for best Marvel villains. He freaking killed it. I just love this movie, man. I remember wanting to see it for the first time. I didn't see it in theater. I saw it on bootleg, and we wanted to go see it. I remember going on a school trip. We was thinking we was going to see Spider-Man 2. We ended up going to see Spirit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And it was very upsetting. So I remember the theater saying Spider-Man 2. So we're going to see Spider-Man 2. It ended up not being Spider-Man 2. They took that movie out and put that movie in for all the kids to go see. And it was very upsetting. I don't think you were there. But that was a while ago. It was a while ago. It was when we was at Mary C. Seltzer, I think. Before we went to
we were never in the same class.
Exactly.
Anything to do with you in that class, I don't know.
Right. But everybody, my brother Myron is behind the camera. If you guys didn't know, he just
we're not just talking to the wall.
He just showed up. Yeah, I was so excited when we got it on DVD, bro. We scratched that DVD up so bad. We watched that movie.
That's
Spider-Man
the same
2.
thing I did.
We recently just watched the preview, right?
Alright, did we have the full screen version or the widescreen version?
Y'all had the full
screen.
screen.
Yeah, we had the widescreen version.
We had both, I think. I think at first we had the full screen. No, I had the full screen the first one. I had the widescreen the second one.
Yeah.
We watched it though. The
full screen.
It was
that's
terrible.
When the camera used to turn over.
Yeah,
so
bad. We hate full screen movies on the nigga.
God, man. And then I remember watching it in my mom's room on a 13-inch TV. Like, this movie is raw as fuck.
We couldn't non-stop watch the preview, bro. We watched the preview before we watched the movie.
Every time.
Like, we already watched the movie, but we watched the preview like, this preview hard as fuck. It's preview. You gotta watch the movie, bro.
The trailer is so good. The music and everything.
It's so epic, bro. It's so epic.
Spider-Man 2.
Sam Raimi killed it. That one scene where Doc Ock is taking out the doctors, bro.
Epic.
Evil Dead all
Evil
day.
Dead
all day.
He was like, I'm throwing some more element into this.
And it's crazy. Like, you can hear everything, but you don't see nothing.
Yeah, like
you don't even want to know what's going on in there.
And I love that scene because there's no music. It's just
all
straight,
raw.
Straight carnage, no pun intended. But Spider-Man 2 is my all-time favorite Spider-Man movie.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, Spider-Man Homecoming is fantastic. As you can see, it's on my list. But it doesn't give me that feel that Spider-Man 2 gave me. Spider-Man 2 was a perfect Spider-Man movie.
You know it's a perfect Spider-Man movie when the game itself is perfect.
Right?
I mean, a lot of movies that make games, the games
they
aren't that
suck.
Good. They're not good. But when you got a good Spider-Man game from the movie adaptation, you know the movie got to be good.
Yeah.
I mean,
actually, most Spider-Man games are good, with the exception of maybe
you know when our best game, the one that he could choose two sides. That one.
That's Web of Shadows.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
I didn't like Spider-Man 3. I didn't like the first Spider-Man game. I didn't like the first Spider-Man. You couldn't touch the ground in the first.
Right, because every time if you fell in the cloud, you.
Not the PlayStation 1 version. The movie adaptation of the first game. You can't.
Oh yeah,
you can't land on the ground.
You still can't touch the ground.
You're not able to swing through the city in that one. The first Spider-Man game from the Raimi trilogy. Yeah. You can't touch the ground.
I had that on PC, and I wasn't too fond of it.
Yeah, I didn't like that one, but this one gave you the ability to swing throughout the whole city. Mm-hmm. You know, you can go throughout the whole city, you go everywhere. But I remember I was watching somebody review it, and they was talking about how good it was.
The game?
Play more. Yeah, Spider-Man 2. And I'm like, man, just because the movie is great, that's the one reason why. And I do agree with you. Is the best out of all the Spider-Mans will be Spider-Man 2, the Spider-Man Homecoming. Like you said, Spider-Man Homecoming is an excellent movie, but Spider-Man 2, man, it's just at the time, bro. It was
especially if you guys get it, if you haven't watched Spider-Man 2.1, watch Spider-Man 2.1.
Definitely.
They have extended fight scenes, and they are so good.
Man, you wish that should have been a movie, bro.
The train sequence especially should have been.
That's the best part.
They should have kept that in there.
I love that train sequence.
Bro. That's why I said Marie's about one night. Why are you watching this? Let's watch the 2.1.
2.1. That's the one
I watched when it come on Netflix. I'm like, when I first seen it, I'm like, I've never seen this
on Netflix.
I'm like,
it was on Netflix.
I mean, not Netflix, on FX.
Oh, okay,
They played on FX and they played it. Seems
when
like
they was doing like DVD on TV.
I've seen it. I've seen all these scenes. I mean, the first time I seen them, I'm like, I love this movie even better. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, see this part? This part just made the movie even better though.
Yeah, but the Spider-Man 2, it had everything I wanted out of a Spider-Man movie. It had fantastic action. It was very emotional. You know, when it got to Peter Parker and Mary Jane. I thought Kirsten Dunst's Mary Jane was very good. It was very. She was casted perfectly. I think that everything was done in a matter where it got you emotionally invested, and a lot of superhero movies don't do that. A lot of superhero movies.
She had a lot going on there.
Yeah, a lot of superhero movies just want you to have a good time, which is good. But that's one of the few at the time that got you emotionally invested. You really felt for Peter.
You really felt for Peter. Yeah, because he started losing it. Well.
Oh yeah,
whoever ain't seen the movie, spoilers, but
I mean, that movie, 15 years old.
Yeah,
they done seen it, so.
Do you feel for Peter though? Like you said, you do feel for him.
Yeah.
Cause I feel for him. Like, man, he don't know what's going on with him.
Right.
He can't even control it. He don't even know what's going on.
He didn't want to be Spider-Man no more. And like, you never see that when the hero doesn't want to be the hero no more. And I thought that was a great Spider-Man story to use for that particular movie for that time.
Alright. We're gonna jump into number 4. My number 4 is probably yours as well. Captain America: Winter Soldier.
That's your number 4?
That's my number 4.
That's your number 4.
Yeah, that's my number 4. That's my number 4.
Wow.
It's Captain America: Winter Soldier. Yeah, that's my number 4. Wow. These, like I said, these two.
What y'all doing? 1 through
4? Yeah, we doing 10 through 1, but
so y'all only on
4, 3, 2, 1. They change every time. So these can possibly be number 1.
They're gonna be different tomorrow.
So they can change tomorrow. So that's why I hate when people ask me like, "What's your favorite movie of all time?" Because it can change.
Right, it can.
Like I can feel some type of way. I'm like, "Oh, this is that." But right here, I have to do it in this order because of I just the way I think about them. Okay, so Captain America: Winter Soldier is number 4, right? This changed a lot for the future of the franchise. But this is a very important film for Marvel because they had to go in this tone because everybody thought Marvel was just up and giddy, fun, blah, blah. But this felt deeper than that. It had some comedy aspects, obviously, but this felt darker. It felt more grounded. It didn't feel like Thor existed. It felt like its own thing, kind of like Iron Man did. It did the Iron Man thing, but it took it on a different spin. It made it more of a spy, espionage type film, and it worked so well. That first scene when they're hijacking the boat, if you don't take Captain America out and put him with a regular guy that's doing it, you just got your basically a spy thriller, and it works so well. When you get somebody like Robert Redford to come in, you already know you got an amazing script, you got an amazing movie going on. Because I couldn't see him coming in.
Shout out to Marvel for getting like heavy hitters to be in these movies. I never would have thought I'd see Sir Anthony Hopkins in a superhero movie.
Especially what he's playing. He's playing Odin. Look at what he's wearing.
Right.
Like something like that. But even like with Robert Redford, he plays it so straight. He plays it so real. You wouldn't think he was in a Marvel film. You would not think he was in a Marvel film because he's the way he's playing. He's not playing it like, oh, I'm in this world with all these superheroes. He's not playing it that way, and it works so well. Just
he's a bad guy.
Exactly. He plays it very well too. That's my number 4.
My number 4 is,
all right, shout out to the Russo brothers.
Yeah. My number 4 is the other Russo brothers film, Captain America: Civil War.
That's your number 4?
That's my number 4, and here's why. The reason it's not in my top 3 is because there's so much going on in that movie.
I can give you that.
And the antagonist, the villain's plans, they all, like, everything seems to happen out of coincidence. It felt like he was kind of going with the flow, like
talking about the dude, the family, right?
Yeah.
That's why sometimes it's like he was just there at the moment, or he wound up hot, or you wonder how did he get here, or where he come from.
Like, how did he know everything? Like, they didn't really explain, like, how did he know where the doctor was staying? How did he know? How did he get into?
How did he know so much?
Right. How did he know that they would all meet up at the where the place where all the Winter Soldiers were? How did he know that they would all meet up at the same time? Like, you know what I mean? Like there was so many holes in his plan, and that's why I kept it out of the top 3. But it's in my top 5 because it's just awesome.
It's a good movie. It's a good ass movie.
It's another concept. It's another concept I didn't think would work because of how big it is. Civil War is bigger than what they made it seem to be. You know, the comic book is bigger than itself.
Yes.
They show Spider-Man revealing his identity in front of the whole damn world.
Yeah, they definitely had to scale it down for the MCU because in the comic book there are a lot more here. Everybody in the Marvel universe is in Civil War with
obviously with money and business and power.
Right, and film rights.
Can't do it. Marvel doesn't have all the characters. They can't put all the characters in.
Right,
obviously.
But
we said
the only difference
power and paperwork.
The only difference is that most of these heroes already revealed their identities. So the only one that didn't is Spider-Man. That's the only one that hasn't revealed their identities. Well, no, Ant-Man. People don't know he's Ant-Man, do we?
People don't care.
Well, you're right. But Spider-Man's the only one that hasn't revealed his identity, and that's why they had to change it up a little bit with the Sokovia Accords. Basically, they're gonna work for the government. If they don't work for the government, they get locked up. I did like that though because that would make sense. It makes sense with the real world we live in.
And I like the aspect of the Sokovia Accords and Iron Man and Captain America being against each other in that regard because they're both right. Neither one of them is wrong. Iron Man is like we have to, like, we're the most powerful beings on the planet. We have to be kept in check. Right. Like we absolutely have to have checks and balances when we have this much power. And he's 100% right.
He's 100% right.
And the other side,
it's funny because he needs to be put in check.
Right.
And the reason why he's going with it because he knows he's made mistakes in the other movies, obviously with Ultron and all that. Right. Even with his own relationship with Pepper. Because that's a big thing too. Remember,
because they was on a break
exactly.
Which is another thing. I'm glad they confirmed that they got back together at Spider-Man Homecoming because I really wanted them to be together.
And going back to that, I was upset that it was true that all the people was in there waiting for Spider-Man to be revealed. Because that's technically
what happened in
Civil War right there.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of upset that they showed that a little bit, like, cause I don't want everyone to know that he's Spider-Man. Right? I want them.
Well, no, I like,
even though he made this just not to do it.
I like that because it was a nod to the comic.
Right.
But it showed something very important about about Tony Stark is that he wasn't just trying to be like a warden to Peter Parker. He genuinely cared for him. But with Civil War, what was I saying? The other side of that coin is that Captain America was saying like if we agree with the Sokovia Accords, we give up our right to choose.
Right.
What if they tell us to go somewhere where we think that we shouldn't be? They will
turn them into weapons once they do it.
Right. Or what if we need to go someplace that they don't want to send us and people die?
Right.
And Iron Man was like, people are dying anyway because of us. Like a whole city was destroyed because of us.
And that makes it the same.
That's the bond.
It's kind of the same side a little bit.
But it's kind of still the same because even if anything else does happen, people still are going to die.
Right. Right.
And
so that's the thing. There's really any purpose, bro. Just sign the paperwork, but it's still going to happen anyway.
Yeah, regardless if they don't sign it or not.
It don't matter.
But because the Sokovia Accords went through
I don't think like you said, if
they were talking about it,
get locked up.
Where the teacher is talking about the Sokovia Accords and Spider-Man Homecoming. So obviously they went through.
Yeah, it went through.
Yeah, but
I mean, they went through it in the first act of the movie. They were signing the Accords. I like that they introduced Black Panther. He was one of my favorite parts of the movie. Everybody was talking about Spider-Man and him showing up, which was fantastic. I loved him being in the movie. But what stole the show for me was Giant Man, because I wasn't expecting him to become Giant Man in that movie. I thought he was going to be Giant Man in the Ant-Man sequel. That came completely out of left field for me. And that was definitely something.
That's a geek out moment right there.
Yeah, it was definitely a geek out moment
because
it reminded me of Marvel's Ultimate Avengers, the animated movie, which is one of Marvel's few good animated movies. It pretty much confirmed, if you already didn't know, that the MCU is based on the Ultimate Marvel universe. So I like that aspect of it. But yeah, that's my number 4.
Alright, we're getting into the last top 3. And my number 3 is going to be the Avengers. That's going to be my number 3 is the Avengers. Like what we said earlier, I did not think this movie was going to exist. That first trailer, bro. There's a trailer at the end of Captain America, which I didn't like that much. But the first trailer ever, bro.
Oh, you talking about that little, I don't even know what they call that. It's like a trailer
teaser.
For a trailer.
Teaser.
I hate that.
You just knew that it was filming.
You just knew they was filming it, so they put some scenes at the end of it. We're gonna throw some scenes of the Avengers at the end of it, since it's the end.
Since we knew it was gonna come to existence.
Yeah, they had to show us something. So the first trailer of the Avengers blew me away. I did not think it was coming. It was just incredible. Everything they set up in the other movies came to par. Everyone blew it out of the park. The way they introduced each character to come in, like you had Captain America fighting Loki, then bring in Iron Man to take in Loki, then having Thor come it just worked so well. The camaraderie, I can't even say
comedy.
The camaraderie around the characters. The one scene, people think it's a plot why Hulk is able to use his Hulk, able to control him. He's always been in control throughout the whole movie.
Yeah. He was getting ready to show them.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That scene alone is amazing because he's getting ready to show that he can turn into the Hulk.
He's like, you want to see my magic trick?
He's about to show he can turn to Hulk at will and not hurt nobody, not get mad or anything. And that scene alone is amazing. It's just incredible.
And people also point out that that's a plot hole because he hulked out.
No, but he was hurt. He hulked out of the from the explosion.
I know.
Right.
I know, but he could have not done that.
Yep.
He was like, forget it. I'm just about to Hulk out. Y'all done made me mad.
Yep.
Like so, but
He had made him mad though.
But I'm saying
he was lightweight tensed up. But everybody was fucked.
He
up.
was tense throughout the whole movie.
Everybody.
The whole point was he could Hulk out at any time he wanted to.
Right.
When he did, it was
everybody
only
kept
because
saying-
he wanted to.
Yeah, because everybody kept saying that he didn't though. That's probably what literally made, like you said, he wanted to show you. That's what made me like, I'm gonna just fuck it.
Yeah,
Right.
because he didn't
Right.
show us. But that's a good scene. Even the scene when he comes up and says like, I think we need to get angry. Like, I'm always angry.
Always
Just
angry.
that scene, bro.
Yeah.
He just turned to the Hulk.
It gives me goosebumps every time I see
That's
him.
like when I
It's
especially
so
seen like
good.
somebody turn to Hulk, like just when you just the first time actually just see him turn, bro.
Yeah,
like,
like right there.
He just like he's
Right.
oh shit, y'all done fucked up. Y'all done fucked up.
Like I said, I think Avengers is very important because we have sequences where they show like where they're all working together. Like that one scene where Iron Man's coming down, hitting other people, hit Captain America's shield, fly up. You see Hawkeye taking out somebody. Hawkeye shoots somebody, flies away, gets hit.
Yeah, that whole scene.
You have Thor and Hulk.
I got so emotional during that scene.
Yeah.
God, man,
That was like one of the best scenes of the whole movie.
I was sitting there like a
That's
kid
one of the
at a
best. That's
candy
one of the
store.
best
One of
scenes
the
in
best
any
scenes of the whole
movie.
movie, bro.
Like,
Oh,
yeah,
my God.
that turn is amazing, but
Right.
that scene alone just killed the turn a little bit.
That's like a
Killed the turn.
poster, bro.
Yes, bro.
That's like the poster you got, bro.
And, it's
And
funny
that one scene was the only time that they were all together.
right.
Because during film they said we were rarely all together, with the exception of that one scene.
Really?
Yeah, because they had 2 here, 2 here, 3
Right,
there,
right,
3 there. It was
But
the first time we're all 6.
I love the scene where Iron Man's asking what's everybody doing. He said, "Oh, Hulk just took out Squadron." Somebody like, "He didn't invite me," or he said Thor or somebody took out something like, "And he didn't invite me." And stuff like that just amazing, man. Just it works so well. Like little things, like even when they're fighting for afterwards, Iron Man comes out and he said, no hard feelings, Point Break. You got a mean swing. Little stuff like that just works so well. You see little nods though, like little things. It just works so well. But that's not my number 3, man. Shout out to Joss Whedon, man. He really set this Marvel universe off to an amazing start, man. With the Avengers.
Yeah. My number 3, Logan.
Oh, I didn't forget Logan.
You didn't put Logan in your list? This live stream is over.
Everything's getting moved up. That is number 2. Hold on. Let me switch that. Everything getting moved up. Avengers number 4. Spider-Man is number 6. Everything. Iron Man, you're off the board. Logan is gonna be number 2. I'm sorry. Logan is gonna be number 2.
So now Iron Man is in your honorable mention?
Iron Man's gonna be honorable mentions now. We're gonna change everything now. Move everything up like Tetris. Move everything up.
Man.
Put Logan right in the middle. And Logan is gonna be number 2, baby.
All right, my number 3 is Logan.
Alright.
This was the perfect send off to Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. I was already emotional going into this movie because this is the only Wolverine that we've known. We have literally grown up with Hugh Jackman being as Wolverine. I was 10 years old when the first X-Men came out.
We were 7 years old when the first
7?
X-Men came out. Came out 2000.
And to see him be the same character from the time I was a child into my adulthood.
Adult life, bro.
That they only do that on soap operas.
Yeah.
Nobody's done that, and nobody's played the same character that long in a movie.
We seen this, bro.
Maybe the one old lady in the Bond movies, yeah, but nobody's played a character that long of that much caliber, of that much significance.
So well.
And he was completely dedicated to the role. In every X-Men movie, he was the best thing about the movie. Every single one.
Even X-Men Origins.
Even X-Men Origins Wolverine. as much flack as that movie gets, I thoroughly enjoy watching his performance in that movie because he's so dedicated to it.
Even if the movie is shit.
Right. He was like, I'm gonna bring the best of this character to the screen, and we need more actors like that to portray these heroes. People that are actually fans of the source material.
Like Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool.
Yeah, and you not saying that you have to be a lifelong fan because look at Christopher Nolan with Batman. Yeah. He didn't even read comic books when he was a kid, but he was so interested in Batman.
He made one of the best Batman.
Right. He was so invested in the character that he made one of the best representations of the character that we've seen.
Right. I swear, like out of any Batman, the way it was made, portrayed, it was good.
Right.
Like it wasn't over the top for real. Like it was. Like it can really be
grounded.
Here,
that's what we were just saying. But with Hugh Jackman in Logan, you really felt, but because he'd been this character for so long, you really felt
for the character.
You really felt like he was almost 200 years old.
He is, bro. He is. We've been through wars, bro.
He's been through every single major American war, all of them. Going back to the Revolution,
everything. He's still alive.
That's the one thing.
It's bad enough he's been through the apocalypse, bro. Of that, bro.
Yeah,
it's crazy to think like when I'm watching, I see these two characters from Professor X and Logan. Is the reason why he's still alive because he can take what's going on with him, right?
Right.
And it's how do you think how dramatizing that is to his mind because he's seen all his friends die.
Every person
he's still living. He's still able to live in how old he is, and that's the one thing why I love Logan as well is because get really into his mind. He's seen all his friends die. He has to deal with the one person who he went to who actually brought him in, and he has to see him go through this.
And he's dying too.
And he's dying as well, right? And it's like it's.
And I loved their dynamic. Their dynamic in that movie. Logan is definitely a dad movie.
Yes.
You should definitely watch that movie on Father's Day. I love the fact that Logan's goal before X-23 came along, he was like, I'm gonna get us this boat, and then we just gonna live on this boat until we both turn to dust. And like that's all he just basically just wanted to spend time with his dad per se, because I mean that was basically his father. Because he taught him how to be a better person because he really didn't know who he was before he came to the X Mansion.
The house. Call him his house, right?
Yeah. It was excellent. It was excellent.
So this your number 3?
That's my number 3. It was a very emotionally heavy movie. I've only watched it once.
Me too.
But
I've watched it more than that.
But that
like 5 times already.
See, I couldn't. I love this movie so much, but I couldn't put myself through that again. Yeah. And I own it on Blu-ray. I haven't watched it yet.
You got the 4K version?
No, I don't.
You just got the regular.
I just got the regular. Yeah, I got like a deluxe Blu-ray because it got all these pictures and stuff in it.
Yeah, I bought the steelbook and it comes with the Noir version, like the black and white version.
I have that.
Yeah, so you got. So you didn't when you get the steelbook, that you get the 4K with the steelbook.
Yeah, I don't have the 4K. But it was like I said, it was very emotionally heavy, and Laura's character X-23, she was fantastic. Even though she didn't talk for most of the movie, like you felt her presence on screen. And I really hope that they move forward with
Cam Sleep.
I really hope that they move forward. Move forward with her character, because she's I think they have a solid young actress.
If anything, keep her as it. Don't make her older. Keep her this age and let her grow with the
let her grow up. Because I believe in
how Spider-Man doing.
Yeah, I believe in the current comics, she is the current Wolverine.
Okay.
I think so. So I think they should do that.
Mm-hmm.
Just let her be the Wolverine now instead of recasting the character. If they don't do that, I would just like to not see Wolverine.
Right. No,
in
my opinion, since you guys are making Deadpool, make Deadpool the new Wolverine, not like that, but make him like
the new premier
character besides Wolverine. Make Deadpool that character. 'Cause I think Deadpool can be that.
Yeah.
He can be that
the character to show up in all the X-Men movies. And that's interesting that you said that, because Wolverine was he wasn't even an X-Men when he first showed up. He was a Hulk villain.
Exactly.
And
they literally made him put everything on.
Yeah, and then they put him over in X-Men, and he just basically kind of took over.
It worked.
He's the most popular X-Men.
He kind of grew.
Yeah.
He kind of grew to it. And you can tell by the character, he kind of grew to it. I'm going to say I had to change my list up, obviously. Everything's getting moved up. So now Deadpool is 10, X-Men, Days of Past is number. When we just talked about that, I'm sitting here looking like I'm missing. I knew something was missing, though. I'm moving everything up. Like I said, Iron Man's and Iron Mentions. I got to move everything up, basically, and I got to put Captain America right here, basically. Let me return like this and put just put Logan. Yeah, Logan got to be right here.
See, I didn't even bother putting numbers by mine.
Yeah,
I knew it was gonna change.
Yeah. So I got to move everything up. Avengers is gonna be number 4. Captain America: Winter Soldier is number 3 for me. And then Logan is gonna be number 2 for me. So that's it. Okay. That's all I want to say.
Do you have anything more to say about Logan?
But since that is not my number 2, we gotta talk about Captain America.
Yeah. Because I said I gotta name my number 2.
Okay. Nah, I got nothing to say about Logan.
All right.
I enjoy Logan, but I agree with everything you said. It's a masterpiece. I think it's probably Hugh Jackman's greatest performance, in my opinion. X-23 was amazing. I really hope they keep the actress, because I think she was really good as the character.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, this is a dad film, but I love that it's not focused on saving the world. It's more focused on characters growing with each other. People reference The Last of Us with this a lot, but this do feel like The Last of Us, but not in that tone.
Absolutely.
Not in that type of thing, but it felt like The Last of Us, and it makes me more upset that it's not The Last of Us. Cause I want Hugh Jackman to play Joel, because they do look like, especially in Logan, he really do look like Joel from The Last of Us. And I think he'll be amazing if he played Joel, because you ever seen Prisoners? That's why people say that too, because he really looks like Joel in that movie too.
Yeah,
that is a lot of good comparisons, but in a good way though, because this story is amazing. 2 characters going from one place to another, learning each other, trying to get used to each other, obviously.
Trying to
understand each other, right. It works so well, and you're right. This is definitely a Father's Day movie, man. Definitely watch it on Father's Day. That's all I have to say about it.
My number 2 is Winter Soldier. Just like you said before, it's the most grounded of all the Marvel movies. It felt like it could actually happen, and it is probably the most important Marvel movie, just because after this movie everything changed in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They realized that S.H.I.E.L.D. was all a big sham, and that S.H.I.E.L.D. was actually Hydra.
And it's crazy, when I was watching, I'm like, man, it's crazy how how far we've come to this though. We're seeing S.H.I.E.L.D. being Hydra. Like, that was a big twist I did not see coming. And it's funny when they released, people's like, you can't watch the episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because of that. It's bad enough when you tell people you can't watch the show if you ain't seen the movie yet.
Right.
That when I remember seeing it in theaters, I'm like, wow, they really flipped that on us. They flipped that the hell on us.
Yeah. S.H.I.E.L.D. is no more. Nick Fury is on the run.
Well, he's technically dead.
Yeah, he faked his death, but I mean, if anybody sees him, they gonna kill him. But it was such a good movie. Filmed in Cleveland.
Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm saying. That's how you know it's good. That's how you know it's good. That's how you know the Avengers is good. It's filmed in Cleveland. It's filmed in Cleveland. Sorry.
Cleveland.
Alright, so I'm bad. I know what's going on.
Anything else? It was just it was one of the few Marvel movies. Not to say that Marvel was not good or anything, because obviously they're excellent, but that movie definitely had me on the edge of my seat, like just wondering what's gonna happen next. It was very fast paced. Like you said, it felt like an espionage movie. It felt like Enemy of the State with Captain America.
Yep. He was definitely basically on the run the whole time, and it was it just worked so well, man. I agree with you 100%. Like I say, my last four of my list could change simultaneously. Like that can move up anytime, because if I watch and I just immersify how amazing it is, then it's gonna change. But I agree with everything you're saying. Captain America: Winter Soldier is a masterpiece, in Marvel standards. Especially for Captain America to work. Like the first movie was it had to grow on you, but the second movie is like, wow, they really stepped the bar with it. Even with Civil War, they stepped the bar again. It's like it's crazy how, like you said, that's a trilogy that literally it got better along. It didn't and didn't get a little decline. That franchise, it really got better with the Captain America movies.
Let's go into these honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions for me, I'm gonna throw out some. I got The Incredibles, Iron Man, Dark Knight Rises, Tim Burton's Batman. What else? I'm gonna throw Kingsman in there. I like the first Kick-Ass, but that's more like, if you had to do a top 20, that would be like 16. But
superhero.
Sky, but that's not. See,
it's a movie about.
I wouldn't say all time.
That's
more up on the. That's more up. You got that's not touching.
That's not even on the list.
That's not nowhere near the border, man.
That's an underrated movie, man.
Nah,
dude, I haven't even seen Sky High.
Damn, you gotta watch it, bro.
It's alright. It was made 2005, so that's it kind of dates it a little bit.
Yeah.
Throw some honorable mentions out.
My honorable mentions are
Avengers: Age of Ultron.
The first Iron Man, the first Spider-Man.
Yeah. Blade 2.
I forgot about Blade 2. Dark Knight Rises. And Batman, Mask of the Phantasm.
Yes.
That.
Yes.
Oh man, I really wanted to put that on my top 10. That's probably 11 or 12. And my last honorable mention is Man of Steel. Because that to me, Superman is my second favorite superhero. After Batman. But to me, Man of Steel was the Superman movie that I had always wanted and never had. And then when Zack Snyder finally made it, I was like, this is incredible, because he made it. It involved Christopher Nolan's storytelling style.
Same style you did with Batman Begins.
Yeah. So he took that style from Batman Begins and just incorporated it into a Superman movie, but it wasn't as non-linear as Batman Begins. It was a little more moving forward, but it started right in the middle, and it was basically a coming of age story, because he's just trying to figure out who he is, who am I. I love the Christian allegory. For those of you that don't know, Superman is based on Moses and Jesus just put together. Especially the scene when he's in the church and Zod has just announced himself and he's looking for Kal-El. And and behind him is a stained glass window of Jesus praying in the Garden of Gethsemane, and that scene is basically what Jesus was praying about, because Jesus was about to get crucified, and he was like, God, if there's any other way for me not to die, let this happen. So, and that's basically what Superman was doing when he was talking to the priest. Like, if there's what should I do? Like, if there's any other way for me not to just go out here and get my butt handed to me, give me some advice. Otherwise, I'm gonna go do what I need to do. But I just think that was I know a lot of people that have their opinions on that movie, but I personally think that's the best Superman movie.
I can give you that one. I would throw out the very first Superman just for nostalgia. Superman 1 and 2, I would just throw those out there just for nostalgia.
You before Zod.
Just for nostalgic reasons. Those are the only two I would own. I only have the first two. Those are the only two I would own on Blu-ray.
I wouldn't even own the first one. I just get the second one.
I have both of them just for nostalgic reasons. I think that's about it for
Gotta do number one.
You gotta do number one. Obviously, we already know what our number one is. Same thing.
Is there even a point to even?
It's The Dark Knight. That's our number one. That's
Dark Knight. The movie. Oh my goodness.
Just the beginning, bro.
That heist.
That was one of the best heists ever seen on TV.
And
yep, that settles it. I'm watching it when I get home.
The perfect portrayal of the Joker.
Literally,
just
everybody. He just literally.
The Joker literally set up a plan for all the men to get knocked off so he can be the last man standing. Is so perfect.
He told every one of them to kill whoever you with. He's like, I'm betting the Joker told you to kill me.
Yep. He's like, I killed the bus driver.
What bus driver?
And he killed him, and then he ended up shooting the bus driver.
That movie is so quotable. I know every line in that movie, man. Oh my goodness.
No, I ain't gonna lie. My favorite line in the movie is from Aaron Eckhart's character, Harvey Dent, when he said, "You either die here or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain." That's a perfect line. Cause you could take that and put that with anything. Cause look at
Julius Caesar,
or even something as crazy as look at The Walking Dead. You either die as a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Shane started out a pretty good guy.
And then even look at Rick. Rick has gone from that to end up being a bad guy. So, or not technically a bad guy, but he's done bad things.
He didn't think he was gonna be. He didn't think he was gonna be able to do the things that do the things that he done.
Exactly.
He didn't think he was gonna be doing the things that he done on what he did in the past.
Exactly.
But shit comes, shit happens though.
But you are right. The Dark Knight has very quotable lines. Obviously, the Why So Serious. You know how I got these scars. Like, just the little things that Heath Ledger does in this movie is just fantastic. The first set photos that they had of him, they didn't work at first. I'm not even gonna lie, but when they showed it from the actual footage,
but see, that's the thing. When they show us these photos, you have to remember they're just pictures. These people are not moving.
Exactly.
Everything looks different when it's in movement.
People were already skeptical when he got cast.
Because I was like, the dude from Brokeback Mountain.
I just thought the dude from 10 Things I. It's not
10 Things I Hate About You.
I seen that first. No. It was that. No, I saw. No, it was first The Patriot. I saw him in The Patriot first, because he played Mel Gibson's son in that movie.
The first thing the only thing I had seen him in before that was
I take that back. The only thing I have seen him in was The Patriot.
He was in The Knight's Tale.
That was what I was getting ready to say. I saw him in I saw him in The Knight's Tale first, and then I saw him in the 10 Things I Hate About You.
I saw him in The Patriot first. I remember being in school watching that, and I said, that's the guy they hired. That's going to be the Joker in The Dark Knight. That's going to be him. And I'm like, is it going to work? Because he looks like he looks pretty handsome. Like, they got.
Remember, he's young though. That movie came out. That was old though.
If you look at him from before he was about that, he looks the same. He didn't change. He just looks younger.
I figured
they gotta make him look different. But then when I saw the first trailer when he's sitting in the jail cell, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be different. This is gonna be different. It's not that he has the pale face; he has face paint on his face. Like, there's a reason why he wears that stuff. It's not like he got physically put that stuff on. I'm like, oh, that really taking this to a dark place. And what you say, you saw each Joker is different.
Each Joker
is the psychotic one. It's the
this one is the anarchist.
Yeah. I love that.
So with the one we're dealing with now is what?
The psychopath.
Talking about
Jared Leto's the now. Yeah, the one we're dealing with now.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got to say that that's going to be that's going to be the Joker in DC universe.
Michael Caine, his line is so amazing. What he said to him, he said, that line is so amazing. He like, cause he said maybe this is a man you don't truly understand, and Batman doesn't understand, and that's why they work so well, cause he doesn't understand why he does the thing he does, and Heath Ledger just played it so well. He played it so well. That interrogation scene alone. It's brilliant. It's amazing, yo. You could tell it's real. You could tell how real it was.
Heath Ledger wanted Christian Bale to beat him.
Like, hit me. He wanted him to make it real. Like, when he's hitting him, he's really hitting him.
Like
he's really picking him up and throwing him against the table and everything.
But the thing was, Heath Ledger wanted him to do it even worse.
Right.
And Christian Bale, he's like, I'm committed to the role, but I'm not gonna hurt you. You know what I mean? But that movie,
the voice is funny. But that voice is hilarious.
And that's the credit. That's how he used him, bro.
Yeah, Batman. Yeah,
Joker. That's how he used Batman.
Right.
He knew he wouldn't do it. He knew he wouldn't kill him, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he kept doing everything he wanted to do, bro.
Yep. Mm-hmm. The voice is hilarious, but it works. Though.
It's iconic.
What's the difference between you and me? I'm not wearing hockey pads. This city. It's full of people ready to leave it good. You're the one pointing the gun hard. It's hilarious, bro.
You live a man's life to chance.
Because you are the best of us. He wanted to prove that he made a good man as good as you. You're the one pointing the gun at Harvey. You're pointing to who are responsible. It's hilarious, bro.
Let her go.
It's hilarious.
Which was worse?
Oh my god, bro. The pencil scene, yo. The pencil scene.
Dude, we had a screening at the theater when I was working there before Dark Knight Rises, and when they showed that scene, everybody gave him a standing ovation for that scene, and I've never seen anybody get a standing ovation in the middle of the movie.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. He gives him a Joker card that had Joker on it. Like, you're not gonna be able to contact me, but this is my card. I'll be able to find y'all. It's hilarious, man. Oh my God, Heath Ledger, man. Rest in peace. I wish that wouldn't have happened, because he would have been in Dark Knight Rises, and I don't think Dark Knight Rises would have been the way it was if Heath Ledger was still alive. I think
I was gonna ask you about that. Do you think he would have been in Dark Knight?
Yes, he would have been in Dark Knight.
He would have had to.
But that's the thing. Christopher Nolan doesn't like to repeat himself.
You can't say that. He's brought Scarecrow back in every single one.
But that's
different. They're played minor roles, yes.
Right. Yeah.
But I even think the studio would have made him do it. The studio would have made him do it because of
how big of the movie.
How big of a star he was for it.
He had a real. Why the reason why you want to go see the movie, bro?
It's for Heath Ledger's.
It's for because he played a role. We want to see another one that got to play. It's a different character from Joker.
I think that if he would have came back, he only would have come back in the third act of the movie.
As a cameo, yeah, or more of a cameo.
Yeah.
But if anything, he would be. I don't think they would have. They would have did the 8 years thing. They would have did that. They wouldn't have did the 8 years. They wouldn't have did that.
No, they wouldn't have did that.
I don't think they would have did the time jump. I think they would have.
They probably
would have concluded the Joker story. He would be locked up.
Yeah.
Then Bane comes.
Or you break him out.
Exactly. And then that's. But I don't think the Bane would let the Joker out because he knows how much damage he's done. He won't be able to control.
Well, no, that was like unofficially confirmed because Gordon said he was locked up in Blackgate Prison.
Exactly.
And when Bane let everybody out, obviously the Joker wasn't there.
Exactly.
So that could only mean that Bane left him there on purpose.
Yep. That's why I think
because he knew he was gonna mess up the plan.
And I think it makes sense for that. But then that means don't bring in Bane at all. Like, you would just make it another Joker story. But I don't think we need two movies that focus on the Joker though. So that's right. If they like. I think you was right. They do bring him back. He was gonna be a third act character, or they're gonna show him in the beginning and just close him out. But just as much fandom as he got in Dark Knight, I think the studio would have probably made him the prime villain just on the studio part. My problem with Dark Knight Rises, it felt like Christopher Nolan was kind of done a little bit. He was kind of like, okay, let me just make this movie for them, and I'm gonna be done with the Batman franchise.
He had always intended on it being a trilogy.
It was still good, but you could tell, especially from the death. I think the death of Heath Ledger did take a toll on that movie. It did take a toll on Dark Knight Rises. But that's what kind of makes this movie so great is that as big as the character it was, people always say actors can be replaceable, but I don't think no one can replace that character regardless. I just don't think they can do it. They would get a lot of backlash if they were to replace Heath Ledger as the Joker. If they would have showed him in Dark Knight, they would have got a lot of flack.
It was one of the best performances in any movie. Other than superhero, it was just one of the best performances.
It made me upset that he got the Oscar win, right? But the movie itself didn't get an Oscar nomination
for Best Picture. That pissed me off.
I really think even screenplay. I really think, regardless of being the Batman movie, in my opinion, it should have been put in there. But I think the number for the movies were changed. I think it was lower list. So it's not. I bet if the movie was made, if the Academy worked the way it worked today back then, it would have been nominated. I'm sure it probably would have been nominated, but I just think regardless, it still should have been nominated. It should have been nominated for Best Picture, because you take Batman away, kind of like how Captain America does. You take him out, it's still a great crime drama. It's still a great crime film. Regardless of Batman taking it out,
because they still add real shit in there.
Exactly.
Add everything.
Like the one scene where Joker tells everyone to kill the guy at the radio station or at the TV broadcast because he's about to reveal Batman's identity. It's just hilarious because the dude is so scared. His reaction on TV is hilarious. Yeah. He's like, oh my God, they're really trying to kill me. Like, yeah, they're trying to kill you. The whole hospital about to blow up. And the way he looked when he come out of the hospital, the rope don't work. He like, the fuck, and then it just works. This is hilarious, right? And it works so well, man. The Dark Knight is still probably everyone's number one. It's always between Avengers and Dark Knight for most people's list, but
you mean the Winter Soldier?
Well, between those three, Winter Soldier. Well, now you can put Logan in there now too, because it's between Dark Knight and Logan. Those two those are my top two superhero movies now. Then after that, it's between Winter Soldier, Captain America, Civil War, or the Avengers. See, those five can interchange. They can always change. It depends on how I'm feeling. But the Dark Knight probably still will be holding the crown. It's probably still be holding the crown. And at that point in time, I was a fan of Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan came out with Batman Begins, and he did Prestige. And then I was ready for this movie. I'm like, I'm already a fan of this guy. And I'm like, okay, the trailers look really good. They changed the title. They're not calling it Batman. They're calling it The Dark Knight. Oh, this is about to be... some shit is about to happen this one. They really changing it. And I'm like, okay. And then the first time I watched like 5 times, probably like one day. I had it on Blu-ray.
Was it the first movie that you bought on Blu-ray?
No, well, it was the first one I bought on Blu-ray. But I remember getting it on Christmas, and she got me the full screen version. But what I can say is that Christopher Nolan's an amazing director because it wasn't a bad full screen copy. It wasn't bad. The camera wasn't moving. It felt like it was made to be watched full screen too. Didn't help that the IMAX, he recorded some scenes in IMAX, but I don't think that had anything to do with the ratio. But it's funny because I went back and bought the full screen version on DVD, and I gave the full screen version, I think, to Devontae, because I really wanted to own that on widescreen. But the first time I saw it, I was amazed. I was just amazed. Like there's no way this movie is this great. There's no way, no way, bro. I'm serious.
Oh man, that movie was just.
I have to watch it tonight.
I'll
probably watch it after I drop y'all off.
Yeah, I watched that movie more than I watch any other movie. Like that, it's so good. Like it's so realistic. Christian Bale does Batman and Bruce Wayne perfectly.
He does on that, especially in that movie.
Yeah. Just the look of the movie, just like that blue tint that's over the movie. That's just, oh man, it's like it had a really great aesthetic to it.
So I'm looking at all the comments. Shout out to all y'all watching the stream. I see you sitting here watching the stream. Good looking. My dad said he watching it.
Hey.
He watching it before he go to the game. What game you going to? Go back to the game. What game you going to? The Cavs ain't playing today. What you talking about?
You probably watching football.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
But yeah, I just want to throw that out there. Good job for y'all watching.
Yeah, it's great movie. One of the greatest. And that's the thing. Not only is it one of the greatest superhero movies ever made, but it's one of the greatest movies ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that most superhero movies can't say that. Like, it's I don't know, man. I know a lot of people that don't watch superhero movies that love The Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. I think I was just talking to Stephanie's brother. I know he's not really big into it, but he that's the one thing I remember I was watching. Like, yeah, this movie dope. This movie, yeah. I know someone like him. He's not really into it like I am, but he appreciated that it's an excellent movie, regardless of being a Batman movie.
Exactly. Because it goes beyond being a Batman movie.
Exactly.
Beyond being a Batman movie, though.
And that's the one thing that makes it work. Even the little things, even with Jim Gordon and Harvey Dent, what they're going on, trying to get the mob. Like, that's another thing. That's the one thing I love to explore too. Because the animated series kind of explored that too with the mob and everything.
That's what I said. That's what made me bring it into the whole animated, bro. Like, it made it seem like they was focused on other stuff, other than just being a Batman movie. Then you got the villain. No, there's other stuff going on in Gotham other than just the villain, bro.
You know that's how
the villain trying to be with whatever's going on for real. The villain trying to be whatever's going on. We're trying to get whatever's going on. That's the one thing about Joker. He was always into whatever's going on, or he trying to be better than whatever's going on. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
And I love the fact that this version of the Joker was just so anti-systematic. Like he didn't care. Like, he got all that money and he burned it.
he got paid.
Burned it.
He got paid, bro.
He's like, I don't care about this money.
On God, he didn't care about it.
He's like, all you care about is money.
And then what he said,
he deserves a better classic criminal, and I'm gonna give it to him. He like, how about I cut you up and feed you all these little pooches? Then we'll see how hungry a really dog really is. Like, that's hilarious, man.
And bad enough, he switched it up and all his niggas work for him, bro. And you see they grabbed him and said, get the fuck out of here. It's all this money is mine. I literally bought everything you got. Get the fuck out. I'm that.
And then he burned the money. Cause he
He burned it.
That's crazy. Everything burns. It's crazy, man.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
You ain't give a fuck.
It's funny. He was gonna kill himself.
I ain't gonna lie. My favorite part about the Joker is that he's so unpredictable that he changed his story. I'm sure he's about to give Batman another story about how he got his scars, but he told like 2 different stories of how he got his scars. Right?
Yeah.
First he told the gamble saying he was with his wife or something like that. Then he said no. He said his wife with no. Which one he said with gamble? When he had
his dad.
He said his dad in that one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then he changed from dad, then he changed to his wife, saying his wife would not like him because he got the scars. And that's what I love about him. He's so unpredictable, and Heath Ledger made it so much more better the way he performed it. It was so
I like how they took it to the
it's extraordinary.
To like how Joker was brought about originally, because he didn't have an origin story. Right. He just showed up, and for the longest time up until the 80s, we didn't know.
And that's the one thing was why and certain things like that. I wish certain characters like that don't have origins. That's why I'm playing the Batman Telltale game, and I'm kind of not liking that he's not the Joker yet. So it's like he's very like he has a Joker tip.
Mindhead.
The head's, the mindset of it, but he's not doing the Joker things. And I'm like, I want to see the Joker to where he's already crazy. He's already doing the things to do. I like that better because we don't know how he got there. And it's scary that way. It's more interesting that way. It's more, captivating.
That's the one thing I don't like about the Telltale games, is that he's there.
Yeah. Like, if anything, he should be your last game. He shouldn't be
right. If he's not the Joker already, just don't have him.
They're trying to change it up how we're gonna form the Joker, and I'm trying to do it the way I want to do it. They have Harley in there as basically she's like the more dominant one over. Joker's in love with Harley,
Yeah.
They changed it that way where it's the opposite around. He's Harley's more of the boss and Joker's more of the lackey.
Oh.
And I like that it's different, but I think it within the last episode it's gonna change. I think that's when we see. But that's why I'm trying to form this. I'm trying to form a bad guy. I'm trying to form a bad guy. I'm trying to form him to be the Joker I want him to be. But we'll see how it goes. But that's the one thing I did love about this Joker is that he just showed up. You don't know why he's there. He just showed up to Gotham like he's always been there.
Right.
And that's why, to me, that's why he's my... See, I love Mark Hamill's Joker, but on live action, you got to give it to Heath Ledger.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think that's about it. We finally did our top 10 list. It's gonna probably change. Justice League and Thor comes out at the end of this year. Well, how about we do a refresher after Avengers?
Avengers? Yeah, we'll do another one after.
Because if Avengers is what they say it is, that might be number 1. We'll see. We will see if Infinity War lives up to the hype. The poster looks awesome. The trailer, what I've seen from Comic-Con, looks amazing. So we'll wait and see. That's it for our top 10 superhero movies of all time. I had a little mess up. Obviously, we all make mistakes.
How did you forget?
I don't know. We'll talk about that another time. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Please slap the like button. Please subscribe for more. Let me know what you thought about what we talked about today. Give me your thoughts on the Black Panther trailer, the Punisher trailer. Let me know what your favorite superhero movie of all time is in the comments section below. And we're on this one, you guys. Peace. That seemed kind of long, didn't it?
Yeah, it seemed like it was about 2 hours.